Hey, Louise Gardner here from Pledge Consulting. Just wanted to do a quick video today to show how we can use agents in Microsoft Copilot to help us with specific project management challenges. I've shown a couple of people my RAID helper agent that I set up, so I thought today I'd recreate that one and just show you how I do it. The driving need for RAID helper is because one of the most common problems we see with project managers in practice is the lack of either awareness of or application of the difference between risks, issues, dependencies, and assumptions. So, and you know, I can understand how things get lost in the chaos of everyday life sometimes. So we thought it'd be nice to have a little helper, hence the name, RAID helper, to help sort those things out so they no longer get lost. And if a risk is a risk, or if an issue is an issue, it's identified as such and can be managed as such. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Create Agent. So I'm going to go to Create Agent. Okay. So then we get our Copilot Studio up. Probably worth mentioning at this stage as well, there is kind of an enhanced version of Copilot Studio, which is an extra subscription, which is if you're going to set up APIs or integrations, or you're more of a technical person, that would be your way to go. Probably not available to most of us with an enterprise license. This version of Copilot Studio does come with the standard Microsoft 365 license. That's not to say your IT department might let you have access to it, but it is available, and if you ask for it, in most cases I think they'll let you have it. So we're going to start by deciding what the agent to do. So here's one I prepared earlier. I actually got ChatGPT to help me with this prompt, and so these are the things I would like this agent to do. It's really about classifying project notes and sorting them into risks, issues, dependencies, and assumptions. You can make this prompt whatever you need it to be. You might have other problem areas. You might want to tweak it so it covers different roles. But this is the one that I've used, and I think it works pretty well. So I want to, I think that's what I'll put in. So let's give it that prompt. And let's see what it does with that. So you can see here we have an agent preview. And these prompts just come up, which is pretty good. So then we'll configure it. So I'm going to call this Risk Helper 2. I've already got my Risk Helper set up. And we've got that description in there, which I think works quite well. Now, this is a handy feature, and I'm not going to use it on this one. I have played around with using this, and I've decided I get just as good, if not better, result without it. But if you're setting up an other kind of agent, this will be very useful to you. If you would like your knowledge to come from a specific source, you can drop that website in here. Now you can see I can link it to internal documents, or I can put an external URL in there. But if I do that, when I ask questions of my agent, it will go to that specific source. So I can click search all websites, which is, if I'd entered them in, I could turn that on. Only use specified sources, reference people in the organisation. I'm not going to use any of that. Capabilities, let's turn that on. Oh, can I? Create documents, charts, and code. And I think that's pretty good. What have we got here? We can upload an icon there. We can set an accent color. I'm going to use going to have a guess of kind of a pledge blue. Okay. Oh, it's had an error saving agent. Oh, I think it might not like that dash. Is that what it is? Yeah, didn't like the dash. And then I'm going to hit create. We can go to agent. And so we get some standard prompts there. I am going to give it a set of fictional project meeting minutes, and I'm gonna try it out. So I've asked ChatGPT now to create me a set of fictional meeting minutes for a company that's building a data center. And it does include some risks, issues, dependencies, but they're not clearly labeled, and they don't have any owners, which is not good. So I'm just gonna stick this in here. I'm going to copy and paste that. I'm going to go back into Copilot. I've had spelling there. Okay, I'm just going to drop that in and see how we go. Okay, some nice suggestions there. I've just kind of said yes to all of them. Let's get this into a table. Let's add a RAG status column, and let's add a dashboard. Okay. Table hasn't appeared yet, but we've got some categories going on. We've got a bit of a heat map. Not super useful in isolation, but probably not too bad to build on. Okay, let's see what our register looks like. Moment of truth. So based on the information we've given it, haven't given it any information really about how to score probability or impact. And if we were doing this in the real world, we would feed this agent our risk matrix. So those would be accurate. I'd also want those to have specific dates on them, if possible. But look, overall, I don't think it's done too bad a job. Risk, issue, dependency, assumption. So I think quite a nice job. I think what's important to note is we're not trying to replace a risk register here. What we're trying to do is pick out of when risks are being mentioned in status reports or in meeting minutes, and they're slipping through the cracks and they're not being managed. And so that's the point of the risk helper agent, really, is to help make it very clear when we do have a risk, an issue, a dependency, or an assumption. All right, well, that's all for now. Hopefully you found that helpful. And I'm keen to hear in the comments what kind of agents you guys are playing around with as well. All right, thanks, folks. See you later.